flight stims do nothing, they just make me remember. This is my favorite part. Makes me feel like a kid again.
3 seconds to drop, first recon. Godspeed.
Sky Cranes, LZ beacon activated, frequency 327 Alpha.
Acknowledge, Texas. Sky Cranes are inbound to LZ. Good job, first recon.
The Arm started this war. But Section 8 is going to finish it.
This is USIS Utah, under heavy fire. Our shields are almost gone.
Wave 1 is under direct assault. All ships, evasive maneuver Delta. Give the Sky Cranes cover.
Texas acknowledges. Evasive maneuver Delta confirmed. Second armor breaking off. LZ is too hot. Repeat, approach aborted.
First recon, knock out those orbital defenses now.
Roger that, Command. We're inbound to target LZ. First recon.
Set.
We're dropping into heavy fire. No air brakes. Get to the ground as fast as you can.
Drop zone in 5. Godspeed. Shields offline.
Command, first recon is on the deck. Your first objective is to silence the orbital cannon facility, designated Control Point 1. Roger that, Command.
After sprinting for a few seconds, you may engage overdrive for an additional speed boost. Warning, friendly damage.
Corde, deactivate those cannons. The rest of you secure the perimeter.
the point for your team. Control point successfully had.
Good! Enemy forces on site! Control point 1 has been compromised! Contact. Point captured.
Checkpoint reached.
General, Hawthorne reporting. Orbital cannons and anti-air turrets are silent. First recon is ready for next
You may
objective.
also change your
Copy
loadout
that.
at supply
Move to
depots.
the ammo storage facility and stop any further shipments from reaching the other cannons. Command out. Recon on me. Let's hit that storage facility. Corde, take out the generators that power the rail shipment. We'll secure the area. info inbound on your location. Hawthorne, we detected an enemy communications relay in your area. We suspect one of the Arm's top commanders is located there. Copy, Command. First Recon, let's move to the rendezvous point and knock it out. Found a way to reactivate the cannon. Corde, you and I will handle the guns. Deacon, Ireland, proceed on mission to the comm relay. Search and destroy. You got it, Sarge. Corde, on my 6. Let's knock out these guns and regroup with the rest of the squad.
Affirmative.
Hold jump to use your jetpack. The jetpack has limited energy reserves, which gradually replenish after use.
Corde, take point. Try using your jetpack to get the drop on these guys.
Lieutenant, a USIF reconnaissance team has been spotted leaving the orbital cannon. There will be more of them if we can't keep these guns online. Request additional troops from Commander Soren and recheck our perimeter. Yes, Lieutenant.
Warning, friendly damage. Warning, friendly damage.
On the deck.
Warning, friendly damage. Capacitor destruction confirmed. At least one other capacitor still remains in the area.
Hawthorne, this is Deacon. We're at the comm relay. Roger, Deacon. Corde and I are almost done with the guns. Hold your position.
Checkpoint reached.
Deacon, I swear, it's an ambush. We're surrounded.
Sergeant, they have a hit!
Ireland offline. Deacon offline.
Damn it! Command, Deacon and Ireland are KIA. Copy. Proceed to final objective. We need that comm relay offline, Sergeant. Corde, you heard the General. Stay on my 6 and don't stop for anything. Mother, any intel on who's behind this?
Intercepted comm traffic indicates armed forces are led by Commander Soren, formerly of the U.S. Imperial Forces. Soren and his units were reported MIA 14 months ago during a classified reconnaissance mission.
He's one of ours?
Used to be. If we can bag him, maybe we can start getting some answers. Keep an eye out for Deke in Ireland. relay is offline. First recon ready for immediate evac.
Finish them off!
Private Corde, reporting is ordered.
Corde, being in the 8th Armored means being on the front lines of high-risk missions. Losing good men is a part of that.
Sir.
But those that make it back do so for a reason. For your role in this last operation, we're promoting you to the rank of Corporal. Congratulations, son.
Thank you, General.
I'd like to introduce you to your new squad leader, Sergeant Blackburn. He served with Sergeant Hawthorne and has specifically requested this post.
Corde.
Joining you two are Specialist Reyes, Heavy Weapons, and Specialist Graves, Engineer. Sergeant Blackburn, I'll brief you on your next objective once you're airborne.
You heard the General. First recon. Let's get moving.
Sergeant Blackburn, Command needs you to recover sensitive intel from the crash site of the USIF Utah. To mask your approach, you'll need to disable 3 armed sensor terminals.
Affirmative, General. Blackburn out. Corde, I've uploaded the coordinates to your HUD. Take point. The rest of you are on fire support. Offline. We'll cover you.
Sensor disabled.
Looks like they called for backup.
Multiple hostiles are inbound. Take up defensive positions and cover Corde.
Sensor disabled. Use the repair repair tool to repair your target. If you have no target, you will repair yourself. Checkpoint reached.
Command, the sensors are offline.
Stand by for supply drop. Good work, Blackburn. The Utah was transmitting the location of an armed missile facility when she was shot down. We need your team to recover several intel modules that have survived the crash.
We're on it, General.
Expect heavy resistance at the crash site. Sky Crane Delta 10 is on standby for a hot extraction.
Rearm at the supply depot and let's move out.
Reached.
Commander has ordered a sweep of this area. Scour the wreckage and tag anything that looks suspicious. A recovery team is on the way. Affirmative. Rise and Graves, take up flanking positions. Corde, you've got pickup duty.
Intel fragment recovered. Intel fragment recovered. Intel fragment recovered. Checkpoint reached.
Command, Black Bear reporting. The intel is secure.
Acknowledged. There's a transmitter at the shipping yard nearby. Get your team there and upload that intel immediately. We're sending down a supply depot to provide repairs.
Let's move out. Contact. We'll have to get through them. Clear a path for Corde to get to the transmitter. that was the last of them. Reyes? Confirmed. No hostiles detected. Area secured.
Checkpoint reached.
We've got the intel. Mission accomplished, First Recon. Sky Crane is inbound for extraction.
There's a clearing just north of here. Sky Crane Delta 10, what's your status?
Skyshot under heavy fire. Avionics are fried. Delta 10, calm down.
General, we can see the crash site from here.
Affirmative, Blackburn. Get your team there immediately. You'll have to clear the LZ before search and rescue can recover you.
Copy that. Come on, Recon, let's move. We have to get there before the enemy does. Come on, we're at the crash site. Mother, scan for survivors.
Warning. Friendly damaged. Vital signs exhibit severe distress.
Come on. Requesting medevac and engineering teams to extract survivors.
Medevac denied. Hostiles are advancing on your position, Blackburn.
Corde, Graves. Requisition turrets in here now.
Select a
Set up a
suitable
defensive
location with
perimeter.
unobstructed clearance to the sky. Once purchased, stay clear of the delivery location. Deployable launched. To purchase an item, select a suitable location with unobstructed clearance to the sky. Once purchased, stay clear of the delivery location.
The 8th Armor has already secured the crash sites. Clear them out.
Deployable delivered. Deployable launched. Deployable delivered.
Requesting another fire team. Enemy forces are repelling our advance.
Sergeant, if these guys drawn to their gun, I'm going to run out of ammo.
Corde. Call a supply depot in our position. Supply depot requested.
Deployable launched. Deployable delivered. Repairs complete. Repairs complete.
Command, perimeter secured. Requesting pickup, over.
Copy that, Recon. A search and rescue bird is inbound. ETA 30 seconds.
Damn. General Stone, massive missile launch sighted 5 clicks from our position.
Sound collision alarm. All fleet ships, begin evasive maneuvers. Blackburn, get your squad to those launch silos now.
Acknowledged. Reyes, stay with the medevac and keep this site secured. Corde, Graves, let's move out! General, we're in position.
Blackburn, you don't have enough time to knock out the silos themselves. Focus on disabling the fuel pumps, and you'll ground the next salvo before they can launch.
Affirmative. Over and out.
Checking weather. Requesting valid target.
Field depot located. Uploading coordinates now.
Course, take point. Graves and I will secure the perimeter.
Control point successfully hacked.
Point captured. Enemy reinforcements inbound. Corde, hack the anti-air terminals. We'll turn their own IA guns against them. Looks like there are multiple terminals spread throughout the facility grounds. Check the entire area. Stand by for supply drop.
First terminal hacked.
Terminal hacked.
Another one. We're almost done. Sergeant, the anti-air defenses are under our control.
Copy that. That should secure the area. But we'll have to manually disable the last launch site. Let's move! Command, requesting heavy tank
Repairs
support.
complete.
We'll knock the silo out immediately. Roger that. Heavy tank inbound. Designate the drop position. Affirmative. Over and out. Corde, call in the heavy tank. We'll cover you. Tank en route.
Checkpoint reached.
Sergeant Blackburn, Sky Crane inbound with a Marauder heavy tank. Command, we're on our way. Corde, when we reach the site, you'll need to manually reverse the launch sequence.
Vehicle has been delivered.
Heads up, enemy reinforcements inbound.
Enemy heavy tank approaching. Call in heavy armor. Keep their sight secured.
Overriding enemy control. Stay sharp.
Control point successfully hacked.
Wait a second. Something's not right. This missile isn't targeted at the fleet. It's aimed at Oasis City.
Repairs complete.
My God. The Arm was going to nuke 500,000 colonists? Look at the log. The missile was retargeted by Commander Soren right after we took the fuel depot.
Soren, that's the bastard that wiped out my entire unit! Come on, if he's nearby, we need to hunt him down.
Stand down, Corde.
You don't understand, Sergeant. He killed Hawthorne!
And if the Arm takes back his silo and launches that missile, then he would have died for something.
Control
Corde,
point
we
defused by
need you
enemy.
here. Now! Let's make this count. Overriding enemy control. Stay sharp. Securing the control point. Hacking the control.
Control point successfully hacked.
Control point captured.
Sergeant Blackburn, launch sequence deactivated.
Blackburn reporting. Missile command is offline. We've detected an inbound wave of enemy troops closing in on your position. Recon, set up defenses. Supply
Checkpoint
depot
reached.
inbound on your location.
Deployable launched.
Flanking positions. Assaulted from all sides. We need to secure the missile launch silo.
Deployable delivered. Deployable launched. Control point hatched by enemy.
Countering enemy troops!
Control point defused.
Heavy's on the deck! Corde, watch our flanks!
Shield offline. Nearby deployable needs repair. Repairs complete. Nearby deployable needs repair. Control point hatched by enemy. All personnel evacuate the area. Nearby deployable needs repair. Control point defused.
Mission completed. Star.
Repairs complete.
Launch site secured. Armageddon will have to wait another day. Acknowledge, Blackburn. Prep for reassignment. We're in desperate need of good lieutenants elsewhere. Sergeant Corde, first recon is yours now. Gather your men and rest up. Tomorrow we take back Oasis City and push the Arm off this rock. Sergeant Corde, 3rd Recon
Recon's assault on Oasis City is stalled and they're cut off from reinforcements. Get down there and support them immediately.
We're inbound, General. Matthews, you come highly recommended. It's good to know an 8th Armored sniper is watching our backs.
It's an honor to serve with the best, Sergeant. But believe me, the pleasure is all mine.
Drop zone in 5. Godspeed.
First recon, let's move!
Recon is cut off at the Oasis City gates. Before our assault convoy can link up and assist, we need first Recon to take control of the bridge leading to them. Clear the approach of all turrets to make room for the convoy, and secure the bridge control room.
Copy that. Graves, Reyes, follow my lead.
This is Matthews. Breaking off into sniper position. I'll confirm when on site.
Deployable needs repair.
Sergeant Corde reporting. We've secured the bridge control room.
Corde, the LZ is being hammered by artillery fire coming from your area. We can't risk sending the convoy in until you've disabled the perimeter defense controls.
Affirmative, sir.
Third Recon spotted a cache of explosives on their way in. They should be located in a storeroom beneath the bridge.
Sergeant, the upper bridge is swarming with hostiles. Recommend you divert to the maintenance rail below the bridge. I'll cover topside.
Acknowledged. Let's move.
Warning, friendly damaged. Shield offline. Warning, friendly damaged. needs repair. Repairs complete. Warning, friendly damage.
Uploaded the coordinates of the perimeter defense controls to your HUD. Once you've stopped the artillery and flak, the convoy will begin its approach.
Friendly damaged. Warning, friendly damaged. Repairs complete. Warning, friendly damaged. Friendly damaged. Warning, friendly damaged. Friendly damaged.
The guns are down!
This is convoy leader. Artillery bombardment has ceased, and we're beginning our approach.
We need to link up to defend that convoy.
Sergeant, I've cleared the rooftop side. You've got a clear run back to the front of the bridge.
Convoy leader to command. An anti-vehicle barrier is blocking our path. Request assistance. Corde, you'll need to reroute power to an override console to disable the barrier. Make your way to the power distribution room beneath the bridge entrance. Protecting target.
Checkpoint reached.
Good. The barrier control should be located not far from your current location. Hack the terminal there to lower the blockade.
Warning, friendly damaged. Shields offline. Warning, friendly damaged.
escort. Corde, get your team back up to that convoy and make sure those vehicles get across the bridge.
Copy that.
Checkpoint reached.
Command, this is it? I thought you said you were gonna have a company-sized escort. Huh. Sergeant Corde. You boys know we're surrounded, right? You have your orders, convoy leader. Move out.
in on the current location.
Matthew, lay down suppressive fire. We need to keep moving.
Offline. Warning, friendly damage. Warning, friendly damage.
Hold the perimeter! Do not let them reinforce their position. Hold the line at all costs. Copy that.
Nearby vehicle needs repair. Vehicle needs repair. Shield offline. Friendly damage.
This is it? I thought you said you were gonna have a company-sized escort. Huh. Sergeant Corde. You boys know we're surrounded, right? You have your orders, convoy leader. Move out.
Hostiles are burning in on the first location.
Repairs complete.
Matthews, lay down suppressive fire. We need to keep moving.
Warning, friendly damage. Warning, friendly damage. Nearby vehicle needs
Bring
repair.
in the heavy armors. Defensive position. Copy that. Fire Team Bravo, move in. Hold the perimeter. Do not let them reinforce our position. Hold the line at all costs. Copy that.
Warning, friendly damage. Nearby vehicle needs repair. Warning, friendly damage. Warning, friendly damage. Warning, friendly damage. Shield offline. Checkpoint reached. Warning,
Command,
friendly
this is it?
damage.
I thought you said you were going to have a company-sized escort. Huh. Sergeant Corde. You boys know we're surrounded, right?
You have your orders, convoy leader. Move out.
down suppressive fire. We need to keep moving.
Shield offline. Nearby vehicle needs repair.
Enemy heavy spotted.
Reached.
Command, this is it? I thought you said you were going to have a company-sized escort. Huh. Sergeant Corde. You boys know we're surrounded, right?
You have your orders, convoy leader. Move out.
Hostiles are burning in on our current location.
Matthews, lay down suppressive fire. We need to keep moving.
Friendly damage.
Stop that convoy! Bring in the heavy armor! Defensive position! Copy that! Fire Team Bravo, move in! Hold the perimeter! Don't let them reinforce that position! Hold the line at all costs! Copy that!
Vehicle needs repair. Warning, friendly damage. Friendly damage. Nearby vehicle needs repair. Offline. Warning, friendly damage. Nearby vehicle needs repair.
Mission completed. Third Recon, this is Convoy Leader. We've arrived at the Oasis City gates and are ready to reinforce your position. Brindley's coming out. Hold your fire. Corde, you're a sight for sore eyes. Link up with my unit and let's send these armed bastards packing.
It took a full week of fighting to take back Oasis City. But the 8th Armored successfully liberated the people of New Madrid. Still, the war was far from over. The armed fleet held their ground long enough to make an organized retreat toward the Galactic Core. Why did Soren come here? What was his agenda? The answers to these questions would have to wait. we couldn't let the Arm conquer any more systems, which meant Section 8 would take the fight to them. In the quiet of the storm I come. In that instant of charged atmosphere I come. I feel like lightning. I feel like lightning, and my burden is awesome. I feel like lightning, and down I must go.
Lieutenant Corde, the fleet is on standby until the planet's defenses are offline. First recon will disable the generators powering the orbital defenses. We won't see a repeat of what happened over New Madrid. Once the defenses are offline, the fleet will move into invasion position.
Roger, Command. First recon. Let's hit those generators. Reyes, clean up the perimeter. I'm heading for the generators.
Shield offline. Offline. Generator offline. Other power sources still confirmed in the area.
Command, this is Corde. All generators are now offline.
Copy. Move your team to the comm facility and take it offline. This will eliminate the ability for effective enemy communications.
First recon on me. We're moving out.
Checkpoint reached. Deployable delivered.
Is on the roof. We can probably reach it through an access lift on the lower floor. Protect the We've lost the power feed from the generator. See if you can contact them. No response. We'll have to assume the generators have been compromised. Taking cover. The uplink is under attack! Send reinforcements! like we have a welcome committee.
Deployable delivered.
Control point captured.
Command, the uplink is hacked.
Copy that. It'll take a couple of minutes for the data to upload. Hold that uplink while we finish the transmission. Call down some deployables to fortify your position. Intel recommends getting a sensor set up pronto. Sensor array requested.
Checkpoint reached.
Heads up, we got multiple burn-ins directly above us.
Deployable
Graves,
delivered.
Reyes, spread out and take defensive positions.
Transmission is halfway complete. Repairs complete. Control point hacked by enemy.
Countering enemy intrusion.
Control point defused. Reached. Enemy communication uploaded and decrypted.
We've detected heavy outbound traffic from a nearby command facility. Our guess is that there are several targets of opportunity inside, possibly even Soren himself. First Recon, we're sending you in to eliminate the armed superiors at that facility. We won't be taking any prisoners on this mission.
Acknowledged, General. We're proceeding there now. First Recon, let's move!
Deployable delivered.
Sir, power cores in Sector 2 are offline, and we've lost our uplink to the Titan already. Activate all defenses. We have USIS in our midst. The base has been compromised. Scramble our access codes to the Titan array. Requesting our commando support now. Deploy directly to my position. Lieutenant Corde, we've got company. Arm of Orion commandos spotted.
Offline.
This is 2nd Lieutenant Corde. I've got several ARM officers KIA, but no sign of Commander Soren.
Mission accomplished, 1st Recon. Good work. We're going to hack Arm communications here and find out what they're up to. Your first objective is to eliminate the enemy forces stationed at the bridge checkpoint.
Roger. Corde, reporting in. Bridge checkpoint is clear and secure.
Acknowledged, First Recon. In order to align the array, you must first reroute power from the nearby hydroelectric generators.
Roger that.
Stand by for supply drop. Have been sighted.
The generator power grid is controlled by several nearby terminals that must be hacked.
Lieutenant Corde, incoming heavy armor.
Graves, Reyes, flanking positions. Take it down.
Warning, friendly damaged. Friendly damaged. Warning, friendly damaged. Friendly damaged. Power from this terminal has been rerouted.
We've got incoming hostiles.
been rerouted.
Enemy spotted.
Checkpoint reached.
General, this is Corde. Power is now being directed to the Titan array.
Confirmed, Corde. You will need to manually align the array towards an orbiting USIF relay. Once done, we'll be able to intercept armed communications between Atlas and the rest of their fleet.
2 assemblies inside the Titan array must be aligned to allow for USIF interception. Friendly damaged. Alignment confirmed.
Hostiles inbound on our position. Covering fire. Objective is the comm facility, where you'll need to initialize the satellite uplink.
Checkpoint reached.
Once we've gained access to their comm network, Mother will upload a welcome package for the remaining armed forces in this sector.
The comm facility has been locked. Scans indicate nearby consoles can be hacked to override the lockdown. Has been hacked. The facility is now unlocked. array uplink established.
Completed. Excellent job, First Recon. Mother is uploading false rendezvous coordinates to the armed fleet. It will send them right into an ambush being prepared by the Columbia battle group. I wish we could be there to watch our fleet light up the armed ships, but we've still got work to do here on Atlas. Get back to the barn and suit up for your next assignment. From the Titan array suggests that a munitions facility in this region is the primary supply point for armed forces on Atlas.
Recon, our first order of business is to clear this checkpoint. Matthews, sniping position. The rest of you, with me.
On the way! Hostile infantry approaching from the south! Man the wall! Taking fire! Need assistance!
Control point successfully hacked.
Matthews, report in.
I think you just stepped on an anthill, Captain. Armed reinforcements are swarming in from the west. And they look pissed. Sir, this looks like a pretty defensible location. We're better off engaging them here than out in the marshes.
Set up a perimeter. We hold the point.
We've got incoming! We need fire support on the west wall. Control point, count the perimeter.
Warning, friendly damaged. Deployable launched. Deployable delivered. Control point hacked by enemy. Friendly damage. Friendly
Looks like they're
damage.
pulling back and digging in.
Let's move on to the rail yard. Matthews!
Already ahead of you, sir.
Checkpoint reached.
All this fog and foliage. No wonder our surface scans overlooked this place. Also makes good cover for snipers. And I'm not just talking about you, Matthews. Stay sharp.
They've got enough firepower here to support a battalion. We're talking heavy armors, tanks, the works.
First recon, covering fire. We're going to demolish their stockpiles.
Deployable launched. Deployable delivered.
Got incoming hostile!
Hostile heavy armored scan. I bet they did too.
General, rail yard shipments have been neutralized.
Fine work, Section 8. That should cut off their primary supply route to their launch facilities. Mother is uploading intel on your next objective. Stand by.
Hostile heavy armored scan.
Corde, move in and take the facility. We need that building in one piece, so minimize collateral damage.
Affirmative, General. Over and out.
Checkpoint reached. Warning, friendly damaged.
Two tankers on the causeway. Captain, why don't you take point?
maybe 3, and they have tank support.
Checkpoint reached.
Supply depot inbound on your location.
Repairs complete.
Enemy heavy fire. Security breach! All units to Sector 17! Heavy tanks! Engage!
Warning. Friendly damage. Nearby vehicle needs repair. Control point successfully hacked. Warning. Friendly damage.
Control point captured.
General, Captain Corde reporting. The munitions facility is ours.
Captain, our communications intercepts have located Arm Commander Soren. He's being evacuated off-planet in the next hour. We're redeploying the 1st and 3rd to neutralize him immediately.
Copy that. First recon, let's move!
Corde, 1st recon is to deploy at the seaport and disable arms supply lines to the nearby skyhook. Commander Soren is personally overseeing this last shipment, and we're going to make sure he never leaves this planet alive. Captain Blackburn and 3rd Recon are already proceeding to the skyhook to delay Soren's retreat until you can get there.
Matthew, recon the skyhook. Go! The rest of you are with me.
Enemy spotted at the port facility. Commander, the 8th Armored is overrunning our position.
Enemy heavy armor on the deck.
Cover me while I bypass the terminal.
Enemy heavy Matthews. Positive sighting on Soren at the skyhook. Soren's preparing to evac. You guys need to hurry.
Friendly damaged.
This is Corde. The port objective is secure.
Good work, Corde. But 3rd Recon has an urgent status update for you.
Corde, this is Blackburn. We've got Soren's company pinned at the Skyhook, but they've retaken the Skyhook's power conduits from our rear guard. We need you to shut down the power conduits at the base of the mountain before Soren makes his escape.
Checkpoint reached. Auxiliary power conduits located.
Understood. We'll deal with it.
Exactly surprised at our arrival.
You forget that Soren was 8th Armored before he defected.
Gives a whole new meaning to the term Section 8, doesn't it?
Beta Squad, hold this position. We are not leaving until all officers have evac this planet.
Reply depot request.
Deployable launched. Deployable delivered.
Hostile heavy armor
scan. Warning, friendly damaged.
Hostile heavy armor scan.
Warning, friendly damaged. Deployable destroyed.
This is Corde. Skyhook power conduits have been shut down.
Confirmed. Regroup with 3rd Recon at the Skyhook. It's time to close the trap.
Checkpoint reached.
Corde, we have Soren's men pinned down inside the Skyhook, but we can't infiltrate the perimeter. We need you here.
We're on our way.
Glad you could join us, sir.
Hold formations at the Skyhook. Give them no ground.
Checkpoint
Corde,
reached.
we've secured the perimeter. Get inside and stop the commander.
Checkpoint reached.
It's time we end this.
It's no use, sir. The door's too thick. We'd never be able to blast through.
There's got to be a way to crack this. Orion Spear, deploy on my position. Here we shall make our stand.
Enemy heavy fire.
Did you really think that stopping me would change the outcome of this war? So much has already been put into motion, and neither of us is going to live to see it through.
Shield offline. Warning, friendly damage. Nearby deployable needs repair. Repairs complete. Warning, friendly damage. Nearby infantry needs repair. Shields offline. Deployable launched. Deployable delivered. Deployable destroyed. Nearby infantry needs repair. Friendly damaged. Deployable delivered. Infantry needs repair. Infantry needs repair.
General Stone, this is Captain Corde reporting. Soren's forces have been eliminated. Over and out.
Our victory at Atlas was the turning point of the war. The Arm of Orion was on the run, leaving battered bases and scattered ships to defend against our advance. They wouldn't last. As a member of the 8th Armored Infantry, I know that I have served with distinction, and I know that I have served with the best.